In today's video, I will show you the best Prebuilt gaming PCs on a deal right now for this 2022 New Year's holiday. Like I said, almost every single gaming PC that I'm about to mention, it's on a deal right now. And if it's not on a deal, it's because I thought the gaming PC is still a pretty good deal, even though it's not on sale right now. And if your budget is not mentioned in this video, let me know in the comment section and I will help you out. And if you want more videos about Prebuilt PCs or PC builds, make sure to stay tuned because I'm going to make a lot of videos about that. So subscribe and hit the bell button if you wanna see those videos. Without more to say, let's start with the list. With the first PC, we have a friendly budget PC that I mentioned in almost every single video that I make, but that is because I think it's the best budget option for performance right now at 1080p that you can buy, and we're talking about the HP Pavilion 1070M. This one has a GTX 1650 Super for the GPU, and if you don't know anything about GPUs and CPUs, don't worry about it. I'm going to explain a little bit why this is important. The GTX 1650 Super is one of the best GPUs in terms of price performance, so if you're working with a tight budget, this GPU will allow you to play at 1080p every single game 60 FPS on average, and for competitive games you will be able to average 144 FPS, and I'm talking about competitive games like CSGO, Valorant, Fortnite. So if you play one of those games, you may want to buy a 144Hz monitor as well to play this type of games because you're going to get a visual advantage. Now the Ryzen 5 4600G is going to work really well to pair it with this GTX 1650 Super. You also get 8GB of RAM on dual channel, and I know 8GB of RAM is not a lot, and that's why I recommend you upgrading it to 16GB of RAM. You can upgrade it from Amazon and put it by yourself because the upgrade from HP costs around $100, and I think you're spending more than you need because you can get it on Amazon for around $70. Don't worry, links in the description as well with these gaming PCs, and you also get 256GB of SSD. Now I think 256GB is not enough, and that's why I recommend you upgrading it to 500GB of SSD or a terabyte depending on how much you need, and that depends on the games you play. If you play high demanding video games that requires a lot of storage as well, like GTA 5, then you may want to get a terabyte or 500GB of SSD. Once again, you can do it from the HP website, or you can go to Amazon and search for a 500GB of SSD option. I think there's one for $40. I will link it down below as well, don't worry about it. And the total price for this PC without any upgrades is $624. Now if you ask me, the first upgrade that I will make is the GPU. You can upgrade it to a GTX 1660 Super just for $70, and I think that upgrade is going to make a huge difference while gaming on the FPS part. So if you want more FPS, go with the 1660 Super, and from that you can start upgrading the RAM to 16GB and the storage for 500GB or a terabyte of SSD or hard drive if you're working with a tight budget. But that's it. If you have a budget below $650, don't worry, don't upgrade anything for now. You can do these upgrades later on, but if you have a budget that's around $700, upgrade the GPU, and from that you can start upgrading the other components because the GPU is going to be the most important thing for gaming, and you will be not able to get a GTX 1660 Super upgrade in the future for $70 difference. The 1660 Super is really expensive right now. It's like $500 or even more, and for that reason I think it's the best upgrade you can make at first. With the next PC, we have one from Newegg, and this one is the AVS Master Gaming Desktop. This one has the i5-11400F, which is going to be better than the Ryzen 5 that I've mentioned before, and you also get a NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2060, and this is way better than the 1660 Super. You also get 16GB of RAM, 500GB of SSD, so no need to upgrade anything here. Maybe the SSD if you feel like 500GB is not enough, but other than that I think this gaming PC is going to be great for gaming, especially 1080p 240 FPS average in competitive games, and also you will be able to play every single high demanding video game at 1080p 60 FPS average, even Red Dead Redemption 2 at high settings, and that's why I love this gaming PC, and it's $1,000. Of course this one is more expensive than the last one. The last one was more of a budget option, but this gaming PC is going to be a much better option for gaming, and it's on a deal right now for $300. Now the deal ends in 9 hours, don't worry about it, but if you found it at $1,000 and you want a gaming PC, I think the moment to buy it is right now. And also you get a great CPU cooler, you don't get the stock cooler from Intel, so that's something to keep in mind. But don't worry about it, I got you covered. If the price goes up to $1,300 again, which is not worth buying if that's the price, you can buy the Cyber Power PC PC from Amazon. I know it says that the price is $1,238, but if you actually scroll down, you will find it at $1,014 for the same exact PC, so you end up spending $15 extra from the ABS Master. Now this is the same exact PC than the ABS Master one. You get better airflow for the case and you get less RAM, so you're getting more airflow for the overall PC, but you're getting a worse CPU cooler because you get the stock Intel cooler, and you're also getting one stick of 8 gigs, and this is terrible. Just upgrade it with 16 gigs of RAM to fix this problem, but other than that, this PC is great. Once again, 1080p gaming, 240Hz is going to be enough for those competitive games, of course depending on the settings, but for every single game at 1080p is going to work great. With the next PC we have another ABS Master gaming PC, but this time it has an i5-10400F, which is a little bit worse than the i5-11400F. You're not going to notice any difference at gaming, but this PC is actually way better at gaming because you get the RTX 3060 Ti, which is way better than the 2060. You also get the same exact 16 gigs of RAM and you get 1TB of NVMe SSD, so that's more SSD than the 500 gigs of the other PC. But the main difference here is the RTX 3060 Ti is going to perform much better at 1080p, 1440p or even 4K gaming, and actually the RTX 3060 Ti is going to work perfectly fine with a 1440p gaming monitor, 60 FPS average in every single game, and 144 FPS on average in those competitive games. At 1440p, once again, if you want to play at 1080p, this GPU is going to be way more than enough. Also for ray tracing, the RTX 3060 Ti is going to be enough as well. So if you want to start playing games with ray tracing and you want a capable machine, go with the 3060 Ti version of the ABS Master instead of the 2060, because the 2060, yes, it's going to run ray tracing, but it's not going to be the greatest experience comparing it to the 3060 Ti. So keep in mind that if you want to do ray tracing or any game in general at any setting, this one is going to be much better. But of course the price is going to be $1,350, so that really depends on your budget. I would buy this one instead of the last one, but one thing that you need to upgrade on this one I think is going to be the CPU cooler. Now the i5-10400F doesn't need a liquid cooler, of course, but maybe upgrade it with something better, because from what I'm seeing from these pictures, the CPU cooler is not great, but you can try that first. I don't think it's going to be a real problem for the i5-10400F at all, but that's the only upgrade that I will make to this Prebuilt PC if you want to upgrade it. With the next PC we have another ABS Master gaming desktop, but this one is going to be much better than the last one. Once again, you get the same GPU, actually the 3060 Ti, but you get a way better processor, the i7-11700F. So if you want to do streaming, editing, this PC is going to be much better. You also get a well-branded RTX 3060 Ti. You get 16 gigs of RAM once again. These one are RGB actually, so maybe if you like RGB, this upgrade is going to be worth it, but don't upgrade this gaming PC just because of the RGB, of course. And this i7 RTX 3060 Ti combination is going to be much better, especially for those high CPU demanding video games, for streaming and multitasking as well. So if you want to do some multitasking and you want to stream your games, this PC is going to be way better than the last one. The price for this PC is $1,700. The next PC we have a super high-end gaming desktop. This one is as well a cyber-powered gaming stream desktop, but here you get the RTX 3070 Ti, which is way better than the 3060 Ti. So if you want to play 1440p, 144Hz, or even 4K, 144Hz or 60Hz, this PC is going to be much better. And actually the interesting part of this PC is the CPU. You get the i7-12700KF, so you get the latest version of the i7. You also get 500 gigs of SSD and 2TB of hard drive, so you actually get more SSD than the other ones, and the total price is $2,300. Now it's way more expensive than the last one. You're going to get a way better experience if you work with high-end monitors, but if you're just going to work with a 1080p or 1440p monitor, don't even buy this one. Buy this one if you're going to use it for high-end video games and for high-end monitors. If you're just going to do gaming with competitive games like Fortnite, don't ever buy this gaming PC. Like, there's no need to buy this one. You can go with the last one or even the other ones, but if you're going to play games like Flight Simulator, Red Dead Redemption 2, 1440p or even 4K, then this PC is going to to be worth your money. And with the last PC, it's a super high-ending gaming desktop. This one is a Skytech Prims 2 gaming desktop. It has the AMD Ryzen 9 5950X, the RTX 3090, which is around $3,300 alone. You also get 1TB of NVMe Gen 4 SSD, 32 gigs of RAM at 3600 MHz with RGB. Now, these specifications are really high-end, but the price is actually $4,400. Of course, if you have the money to, this PC is going to be great considering the GPU price market, and it's going to be better than a PC build because on a PC build you will be spending more money. But once again, buy this PC if you really need it and if you want every single game to be run at ultra settings. And that was my whole list. If you found it helpful, please leave a like and subscribe, but most importantly, hit the bell button so you get notified when I upload this type of content. I uploaded 2 videos last week. I know it wasn't a lot, but that's because I was on a trip, but I'm back right now, so I will be uploading from 3 to 5 times a week, so make sure to stay tuned if you want to see them. And let me know in the comment section if you have any questions, and I will help you out as soon as possible. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next video.